Hello and welcome to Nikolay's Biostatistics lessons, and today's question is easy, but still many students get confused and make mistake on these easy types of questions. So here's a question. In a study examining the effectiveness of new medication, researchers collect various types of data from participants. Which of the following correctly identifies the type of data and provides an example of that data type? Variant A, nominal data, blood pressure levels of the participants. Nominal data are categories without a natural order or ranking, for example, blood type or gender. Blood pressure levels are not a nominal as they have a natural order. Next, variant B, ordinal data, stages of disease progression, for example, stage 1, 2, and 3. Ordinal data involves categories which are natural order but without a fixed interval between categories. Stages of disease progression are good example of the ordinal data. So this is correct answer. But let's check other variants as well, because you also can get different type of question on your exam. For example, interval data, participant ages. Interval data are numerical and have a meaningful order with equal intervals between values, but no true 0 point. Ages are typically considered ratio data because they have a meaningful 0 point, age 0. And the last one, ratio data, number of times participants exercised per week. Ratio data are similar to interval data but have a true 0 point, allowing for statements of multiplicity. Number of times exercised per week is an example of ratio data because it has a true 0 point, not exercising at all. So this is also correct statement. And now, because many students confused about interval data, I want to give more examples. For example, temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit. The intervals between degrees are consistent, but there is no true 0 point. 0 degrees of Celsius or 0 degrees of Fahrenheit doesn't mean the absence of the temperature. Those, it's arguable because we can get absolute 0. But still we categorize temperature in interval data. Next example, which also can be confusing, calendar years. Years have consistent intervals. For example, the time between 1990 and 2000 is the same as between 2000 and 2010, but there is no absolute 0 year. Another example of interval data would be IQ scores. The scoring system for IQ test is designed so that the intervals between the scores are consistent, but there is no true 0 point that signifies the absence of the intelligence. Another example would be SAT scores. The scores on standardized tests like SAT are interval data because the intervals between points are equal, but the test doesn't have the true 0 point, indicating the absence of knowledge. Another example which can be confusing would be time of the day on 12-hour or 24 hours clock. The intervals between hours, minutes, and seconds are consistent, but there is no true 0 point. Midnight or 12 o'clock doesn't mean the absence of time. One more example is elevation above the sea level. Those elevation measurements have consistent intervals, but the 0 point sea level is arbitrary and does not represent the absence of the elevation. So it's also considered interval data. Last time, interval data is characterized by equal intervals between values, but lacks a true, meaningful 0 point. This means that you cannot make statement about how many times greater one value is compared to another, which you can do with ratio data. And this is all for today. Subscribe and see you in the next video. Goodbye.